Go for it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals of the ESP Shock Therapy Cup on Beyond the Summit. We've got technically Game 2, though right now SADBOYS are up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series. It could be a quick 2-0, but hopefully Empire have some tricks up their sleeve, LD.
Yeah, Empire banned a lot of their own signature heroes in game number 1. They banned Bane, they banned Visage, which Fang score, you mentioned, averaging 11 kills per game, 5-0 in this patch, and they banned Doom. So they banned out a lot of their own signature heroes. They gave RTZ, maybe not his, I wouldn't say Naga's his signature, but one of his go-to heroes as of late. And they didn't really draft the best lineup to punish that Naga Rat Dota.
Yeah.
But I think if Empire drafts better, they can make this a very close 2-3, 3-2.
Yeah.
But if they draft poorly, then they're done.
Yeah, I think so as well. If they let the Naga go through, they need something to try and deal with it. Though hopefully they have some sort of a rotation up their sleeve. This draft is already underway, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look. So the Arizona Iced Out Boys will have the luxury of first pick this game, and they first picked themselves Dazzle, who made it through the bans. We'll notice Naga Siren not first banned by Empire, and again banning out two of their very powerful heroes, Visage and Bane.
Yeah, they're good heroes in general, and the Iced Out Boys are capable of running them. But yeah, they are banning out some of their own signatures, so that is interesting.
Yeah.
The Iced Out Boys could have gone for the Naga, although they normally we have seen them first pick it actually. Not every game, but often. But it looks like they want to get a little practice in, try some other heroes. And to be honest, they are a very versatile team. You mentioned that RTZ has yet to play the same hero twice in this tournament until that game.
Yes.
Yeah, when he played the Naga. And that'll be 2 Dazzle games. So solo mid Dazzle is what we expect.
Or it could be Nature's Prophet. We saw him do a solo mid Nature's Prophet the other day. I'm just saying.
I can't remember if they've run support Dazzle. I mean, obviously, it's pretty common. Let's see.
Yeah.
They did run support Dazzle in this tournament, actually. So it could be support or it could be solo mid. It could be the solo mid Prophet that you mentioned. And solo mid Prophet is pretty strong. He's very gankable at the first few levels. But you can use Trance to control the runes. You can teleport to control the runes. And getting quick level 6 can be game-changing. So that's why we often saw teams in previous versions with Safe Lane Prophet and Aggressive Tri-Lane was not really to win the Tri-Lane, but just to get Prophet at quick level 6. Then he joins the Tri-Lane and then they win. So it's definitely an option, but Universe does also play Prophet from time to time. So it's a pretty open-ended draft so far as how they want to lane it.
Yeah, and when they last did Arteezy solo mid on Nature's Prophet, it was similar to what you just described, where he got a quick level 6, he went fast hand to Midas, moved into the jungle, and then they opened up that mid lane for
like a Dazzle.
I think it was the offlaner, one of the supports, he had to make up some of that recovery for him, and it ended up working very well in that particular match. But Doom with Empire with Doom is always scary. That's the hero they've been most successful with throughout this tournament, I think.
I'd be a little more afraid of the Storm, but the Iced Out Boys did ban it. I feel like especially when you're running Prophet, Storm that's just fresh meat for him in most games. So the Doom is still scary. Shadowblade Doom very good at against any sort of split pushing draft. But what are they going to combo Doom with? Do they go back for a dual core? Do they run like a solo mid that can snowball a bit for resolution? His Invoker is still out there if they want to pick it up. We have not seen many of like hard carries from him. We've seen a lot of Puck. Puck is definitely an option this game. Good against Prophet and Dazzle. But for Empire, Resolution's hero pretty much determines how their draft will unfold. If they go for, there's 2 ways to do it. One is a tempo controller, like the Puck. Another is a greedier solo mid, something like an OD, a Shadow Fiend. We haven't seen too much of that out of him, though.
And they've also been successful running Resolution with the Bat Rider as well. That's something they did earlier in this tournament. And in the game, one of the last games they played against Liquid, he ended like 12-1-9 or something insane on the Bat Rider. So it's definitely a possibility for Team Empire.
Are we going to see the Empire Faceless Void? I guess probably not. But Lich, I just mentioned it because they did run it once on that en route to that 4-0 day over speed. And Lich Faceless Void is a lot of fun, but it was like a niche pick. They did it versus Anti-Mage to out late game the enemy team, and that was an epic game. I don't think we're going to see it.
And that
Doom Void is pretty weak lanes.
That was the ISO Cup Grand Finals.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was thinking of MLG, but yeah, it was the ISO Cup. But it doesn't look like it. Not when you already have Doom.
Yeah.
So.
And there's the Bat Rider we were just talking about.
Blue and red. Yeah, they just need a little white on this team to be Team America, despite being Team Empire.
Hey, the Olympics are on. Go USA, right? Shen, the 4th pick for the Arizona Iced Out Boys. So looking for a little bit of early pushing here.
I was just thinking about the World Cup for some reason.
The World Cup. The
you were like, the Olympics are on. I'm like, but
and
I thought the World Cup was the summer. I don't know why that came into my brain.
We don't have cable, so the Olympics are not high on our priority list. We still don't have an antenna either, so we can't even get the local coverage.
I actually forgot that antennas existed, and then I was reading one day, and I was like, oh yeah, they did that rollout in the United States where you have like
those
free
HD airwaves
HD on via antenna. It's actually better signal than cable
Yeah.
if you have a good antenna. So yeah, we should get one.
Yeah.
Watch the Olympics. But
Yeah.
anyway, the Dota Olympics are on.
Yeah, so Bristleback's an interesting choice here because Nature's Prophet, if not the Arteezy hero, generally going to be your off-lane hero, and now they mix in Bristleback, so I'm still curious how the SADBOYS are going to lane this.
Yeah, I think it is going to be this. It looks to me like the solo mid Prophet and the off-lane Bristleback. And then they just need a safe lane farmer for Fear. Slark, Bounty Hunter, Marana is still out there. We have not seen many hard carries from him lately.
Yeah.
They ran a Spectre Prophet draft, but Spectre versus Batrider, Doom, and Crystal Maiden, that's a very aggressive mid-game lineup. And Doom's, as he is against most carries, quite strong. So I think Spectre would be a bit too greedy. As for Empire, what are they going to look to do here?
It's interesting that they did a final ban on the Shadow Shaman. It almost seems that Empire could be misreading how they want to lane this draft. I mean, that would be a lot of push if they mix in the Shadow Shaman here, but that would make their lanes even more funky than they already are. I guess
if they're expecting, it could be like a support Shadow Shaman for the safe lane, and then Dazzle as a farmer, Bristleback off lane, Dazzle mid, Prophet woods,
No,
or
Shen
Prophet
has
or
to be
like
in the
or
woods.
Prophet or Bristleback farming in the safe lane, and then
And
Shadow Shaman support. But that would be pretty passive lanes. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, would be strange. Never saw the final ban from SADBOYS. I do like that choice. Would have fit in well with the Team Empire roster, but I just love how SADBOYS have been drafting. Naga was the driving force in that last game, and here we see Naga not banned or picked. They're not a one-trick pony kind of team. They have a lot of different strategies in their repertoire, and that's one of the things that makes them so difficult to draft against.
And Empire is very much the same. These two teams have picked a variety of heroes and a variety of strategies. We've seen Empire try to outlate game their opponents, go for teamfight lineups. We've seen them run a lot of split push ganking style lineups like Storm and Doom. They have a few strategies up their sleeve as well, and the last two picks come out quickly.
Wow.
Batrider bombs, but there is a Weaver. Weaver very good against Lifestealer and Lich and Crystal Maiden. He's pretty good against, not so good against Doom, but that's what Shallow Grave and Chen Heal are for. This Weaver is going to be very hard to kill, but Empire are very good at killing him, so it will be interesting to see how the fights progress.
Yeah, with that 5th pick Lifestealer, I was just thinking, Empire seemed to be lacking a little bit of control. Of course, they have the Doom ultimate, the ultimate in control, as well as Lasso, but not a lot of lockdown aside from those two cooldown-based abilities. So they'll have some tools to deal with this Weaver, but all in all, I like the Weaver choice here. And we've also seen Dazzle works very well against Doom, not because Dazzle counters Doom, but because he's one support that is worthy of the Doom ultimate.
And if someone's about to die, you can also grave them.
Right, so he either works well to prevent Doom from securing kills or also just making another target, almost like another core in the sense of who Doom is going to use the ultimate on.
Yeah, Dazzle's very good against Doom. I completely agree there. And Empire, 3 of their heroes not so good against Weaver. So I think PPD has picked a strong carry against Empire's lineup.
Yeah.
Empire also, with the Shadow Shaman ban, one of the considerations here is if you look at their draft, how good are they actually at stopping pushes? They don't have much AoE, much creep clearing abilities. The ones that they do have are very long cooldown for the most part. And so they, recognizing that, they did ban out the Shadow Shaman, but of course that allows SADBOYS to just take a different approach to the draft.
Yeah.
They picked up Bristleback and Prophet, heroes they can take it pretty late, but don't have to. Can also be an early to mid game, like early mech pipe on Bristleback, and Prophet gets a Necrowoke, and you just start taking towers. Or they can just go late game with a Midas, get like a Shiva's on the Bristleback and AC. And with the Weaver pick, it seems like SADBOYS are going to take it a bit later. So, yeah, can Empire deal with that? Ag's Refresher Doom might be needed if this game goes long enough.
Yeah, very true. So Arteezy does have the Nature's Prophet. It will indeed be Furion solo mid. PPD on the Dazzle, Universe playing on the Bristleback, Fear on the hard farming Weaver, and it will be Zai in the jungle playing on Shen. So fairly predictable lanes the way of SADBOYS, or hero player combinations, I guess I should say, not necessarily the lanes, even though it does seem a bit strange to someone who just stumbled onto this match. Nature's Prophet mid, still not something we're used to seeing, though.
For this game, my eyes are really on Resolution. He had that absolutely magnificent Batrider performance. 12, 1, and 8, I believe he was. They had 26 kills or 24 kills, and he was involved in 20 of them. And I believe, was he offlane that game? I think he was offlane that game. Yeah, he started offlane.
Yes, because I remember there was a game where they did rotate their lanes around a little bit, and I believe he was offlane, yeah.
Good sportsmanship from the SADBOYS. Good emotional connection here with Empire.
Aww.
It's easy to be friendly when you're leading 2-0. And now Always Wanna Fly is giving them the Luxembourg. Yeah, game 1 was on Luxembourg, so I think it's fine if this is on US East.
Yeah.
They have 3 players from US West, I believe. Actually, do you know where PPD and Zai are from? Are they US West?
Well, I don't know where they are now. I believe PPD was originally from middle of the country, like Ohio, Iowa, somewhere around there, though I don't know where he's living right now. He may be West Coast. He may be in Cali.
Okay. Well.
I've lost track. I didn't know. I should have looked it up before the cast.
Yeah, US West to Lux and
yeah, that's
Eastern
fun.
Europe to US East are not fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Resolution Bat, I'm excited for this. Mag's Doom, if it goes late enough, very strong. And Resolution he likes that Bone 7 build. The Boots of Travel, 4-Staff Blink, and then Mask of Madness, so...
Yeah.
Good just to kidnap a hero and get him out of Dazzle's defensive claws before he can actually get off a grave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about that initiation. We've seen with Batrider, though, now that the ultimate has been nerfed a bit, you have to basically be in melee range right on top of him to cast the lasso. Not as easy as it used to be to execute with the Bat. But Resolution is very experienced, and I think finding that mid-game stride will be good for Empire if they can try and grab some kills around that level 10, level 11 mark or so. Use that Lifestealer bomb in the mid-game.
Well, I think it's a much more balanced draft in terms of if it does go late. SADBOYS probably have the slight edge with the harder to kill carry in the Weaver, and also 3 cores. Empire's Bat. Bat's a good initiator, not really a hero that's going to do as much with the farm, but very close if it goes late game. Oh boy, look at this.
Oh.
Shenanigans.
Wow, a 5-man smoke into the Roche pit. And SADBOYS will go for a level 1 Roche here, alright.
Bristleback's really good against Roche. Prophet's pretty good as well.
But Lich is going to come nearby. He did see the trees. We see Lich pinging it out. Empire are suspicious. Roche at about half health.
I think they're too late here.
Still.
They got to come soon.
And they don't have exact visual confirmation. Lich was suspicious. As I mentioned, he threw out a lot of pings. But they don't know. They're looking around.
Oh boy.
You
talked about the SADBOYS having some versatility, and this is some real versatility. Level 1 Roshing. It's a lineup that definitely can Roche. Bristleback and Dazzle are really good at it. Prophet's okay, but I wouldn't say it's like the most obvious Roche kill ever.
What a time for a pause.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So
the jig is up.
The jig is up, boys. Oh boy.
This is awkward.
Yeah, Arteezy with the perfect response there, I think. So Roshan has fallen. Aegis of the Immortal does go to Arteezy. And
solo mid Prophet. It is the solo mid Prophet.
Yep, and their whole team will start about halfway through level 2, so obviously a large edge going the way of SADBOYS. To get game number 2 started, Vanscore will DC again, so obviously Empire having some connection problems, so...
I just want to mention this Prophet's going to be gargantuan. Starts with the Aegis, starts level 2, and has 500 gold. And he's solo mid, so he'll get a quick level 6. They're having some big connection issues here on Empire.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, after level 1 Roche, I guess they could just give it away if we do have to remake.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
That is a pretty easy, actually, remake. Just
yeah, some things are like if there's a team fight, you can't really you can't remake that too easily.
Yeah, but Roche is... So, alright, we will have a remake here, and we'll have a repeat of that Roche. Arteezy did grab the last hit on Roshan as well, as you mentioned, giving him that extra bout of gold. So, okay, remake here. Wow, it's not too often we see level 1 roach strategies at all, and more frequently we see them thwarted, where at least get scattered out and they're forced to back off. It's been a while since I've seen a successful level 1 roach. How big of an edge is that, LD? Is there some way that you can almost quantify how
That's an outrageously good edge.
significant this is?
Some lineups kind of rely more on their early Roshan tactics, like Arso lineups often do, but they level 1 Roche with heroes that are already, I would already say it was a very even draft and maybe a tiny edge for SADBOYS, but especially who got the last hit there. It was Arteezy. So yeah. Arteezy already has 500 gold and level 2. Midas coming very soon. And it's not like you can stop it. Are you really going to gank him while he's got Aegis? So by the first 6 minutes, by the time that's up, he should have it. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. Just having the Aegis in the inventory deters gank efforts, even though...
and they also have Lich, who's not a great ganking support, so it would be pretty hard to kill him anyway.
Yeah, very true.
So that's a colossal advantage for SADBOYS. But Empire are good at playing from behind.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown that in the past. They're really good at running these super aggressive gank lineups, and we saw Liquid fall prey to that multiple times.
Yeah,
in their series against them, as well as Speed Gaming. So I guess we're not going to actually have a remake.
Yeah, we'll at least have another go at it as everyone's reconnected. Empire with the go, PPD with the go, and now we will resume. Actually get into this game as creeps do spawn.
I guess have we introduced all the players yet? I don't think so.
We have done nothing besides marvel at Roche so far, LD. It's
I blame you for that, buddy.
All right, I'll start things off. We've got Empire on our Radiant side. Silent playing on the position 1 Lifestealer in the bottom lane. He'll be supported by Vanscore on the Crystal Maiden. Mag will start off in the jungle playing on the hard farming Doom, and that means always want to fly will be solo mid on the Lich. Last but not least, Resolution in the hard lane playing on the Bat Rider. So they are going to switch up the lanes once again with Resolution in the off lane. Yeah,
it should be a dual lane mid with Lich just denying or even going bottom, but Mag wanted to eat a creep at level 1. And on the side of the SADBOYS, leading 2-0 in the best of 5, we've got Fear on the safe lane Weaver, one of the harder carries we've seen him on lately. PPD on the support Dazzle. In the jungle, we have Zai playing the Chen. Solo mid, Arteezy, already 800 gold. Midas coming any minute on the Nature's Prophet, and Universe as the off-lane Bristleback.
Yep, absolutely. So SADBOYS really off to a great start to secure this series, although they still have a long way to go.
The one good thing is they are running Lich mid, so that will slow down the Midas timing and the level progression of the Prophet, even though he got Roche and the Roche kill.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's still going to have a fast Midas.
So given that Roche has been a reality here, how does that impact the Empire strategy coming into this game? Does that force them to be a little bit more aggressive or more defensive here in the early mid-game?
Their lineup just can't get aggressive in the laning stage, really. Bat needs his levels on farm. Doom needs Doom. Obvious comment of the week. Lifestealer can get aggressive quite early with phase boots, but Lich is a passive support, so maybe Empire can gank a hero here or there, but they can't really force a lot until they get core items and levels up. Anyway, and especially when SADBOYS are sitting with the golden experience advantage, it's going to be very tough. So they're forced to play passively for at least the first 5 to 8 minutes, I would say.
All right, man. They'll do that to get things started. Arteezy already halfway through level 4. Lich having a small impact on the bottom line of experience, so Arteezy pressing very far forward. Will take a Frost Nova and just gets harassed back. Not a lot of kill potential between these two heroes.
And in the jungle.
Until level 6. Vanscore in some trouble. Universe, though, is out of mana, has a haste rune on. Will continue to pursue Vanscore, though.
There's a Frostbite soon if he gets caught in tower range.
Oh, just outside of the tower. Universe will scoot back to safety. Very close call there.
Yeah, and they forced 2 heroes off the lane, which isn't ideal, but yeah, that's what you got to do when Bristleback gets a haste rune. Honestly surprised CM didn't die there. Normally, if a tanky right-click melee hero gets a haste and you're a Crystal Maiden support, you just die, but yeah. Good reaction from the 2 heroes mid.
Silent off to a good start. He is the last hit leader to get things going here, as he has been in basically free farm mode down bottom as Universe was just rotating through the jungle. What are your thoughts about the Lifestealer in this match? Is this the kind of match where they want to sit back, get him farmed up, and maybe grab a Midas to utilize all this space in the early game, or is this more of a mid-game oriented Lifestealer where we should see maybe a fast armlet first where he can be a little bit more active?
He needs to be fairly aggressive, I would say. They do have Devour and Doom, and they could go for more of a greedy draft. Like Doom Midas, Lifestealer Midas, but in this matchup, you at least want to get your early phase boots so that you can zone the lifesteal or the bristleback out a bit. If you just have regular boots, he can kite you and just quill spray you down. So early Orb of Venom, we probably see phase boots next, and then maybe he goes Midas after that, and then into things like you mentioned, like Armlet.
Right.
But Silent really likes his greedy items. He's one of the greedier carry players in the Western scene.
Yeah. And Resolution has now sacrificed the off lane and just rotated straight into the jungle. Sitting only level 3 right now, working towards level 4, trying to go for the ultra-fast blink right now, just sitting on basic boots. Meanwhile, in the jungle, though, Vanscore taking some harassment from the Bristleback. Universe will not be able to secure a kill here, and perhaps could be in some trouble. Crystal Nova does connect. Resolution is inbound, ready to try and set up a kill.
This is such an expensive kill.
Oh, my.
I think they're going to... Oh, do they get it? Flame Break? No points in Flame Break! Oh, they get the Frostbite off.
Just in the nick of time, they will secure the first blood onto Bristleback, but it takes 4 members of Empire, pulls all of their attention. Even the Lifestealer stopped farming the lane to secure that kill, but it was worth it as Silent did walk away with that bonus bit of first blood gold.
That's like a worth it question mark kill.
Yeah.
They force the bat to TP. Now the tower top's going to take a ton of damage. The Bristleback died after like a 2-minute chase. Arteezy was free farming mid during that time, and they weren't denying creeps fully in the lane. And now he's pretty much got Midas. There's a 5-minute Midas for Arteezy.
Wow.
On solo mid Prophet. So already gets a lot of levels from Roche and being solo mid. I would say not even worth it, especially not with the tower falling top.
Yeah. And now Resolution's in trouble. Fear will go past the tower, forces back the Bat Rider. He's going to move down to the low ground. Actually takes a lot of damage from a Nature's Prophet ultimate. Lich coming in to try and finish off the little bug chipping away at him. Bat Rider survives.
He's TPing. He's TPing towards the fountain.
Oh, Arteezy. Arteezy.
Oh no, this could be a feed. He's got a teleport scroll. Can they cancel a flame break?
Oh no, Arteezy in no man's land.
He's still got the Aegis, but there's nowhere to go.
And Aegis is expiring very soon.
They want to like wait for the Aegis to die and then kill him, but he might die twice here.
He could make the greatest.
The throws. This could be a huge throw.
Oh, Aegis reclaimed in just about 5 seconds. The timing couldn't be better for Arteezy. He'll come back up. They'll start stacking up the damage. And support is inbound. PPD's nearby. There's the heal. Arteezy will survive. And he also zones out Empire to secure that tier 2 tower kill.
It looked like it was going to be a feed, but yeah, Fear's diving as well during this time, so it turns out to be a big play.
And Resolution is almost out of the clear. One more auto attack from Fear. He's going to dive to the tier 4s. He will Shikuchi forward. One last auto attack, and it's going to be enough. Fear does it. Wow, 6 minutes in, and we see 2 heroes diving towards the fountain.
What is this Dota, man?
This is madness, LD.
Fears gets doomed, and he's dead.
That's a dead Weaver, but still worth it. He secures a kill, and also
he didn't get to use his Midas though. Value was lost to this day.
Yeah, but
what? The sad boys like to like. I would just basically say they like to throw. They've had some games in or in MLG TKO where they have a huge lead and they still go on to win, but they casually feed away a bunch of unnecessary kills. Yeah. That actually worked, like you said though. That wasn't a throw at all. Even if he dies there, they get the tier 2, and that's pretty much worth it. He's Prophet. He's still going to be farmed. So
yeah, in
the end, Sad Boys in fantastic shape.
I don't think they'll ever be too upset with grabbing a tier 2 tower kill around the 6-minute mark.
with the double Midas on the Prophet and Fear as well. Yeah, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the gold graph, about 4,000 in favor of Sad Boys. Experience graph, only about 1,500 in their lead. But still, a pretty sizable advantage nonetheless. Arteezy will just rotate down to the bottom lane, is sitting level 7, and will start chipping away at this bottom tier 1 tower. So Sad Boys are looking to be aggressive here, and they are not going to let up whatsoever. They will stop Silent's free farming, force him to rotate into the jungle. Silent did go that Hand of Midas, so he will be having a more passive early game, which could be difficult for Empire, because obviously Sad Boys are putting on the pressure.
Yeah, talking about Empire a bit more, as they are in trouble mid. Fear's probably going to kill Always Want to Fly.
Yep, Always Want to Fly will go down, but Doom actually has a Midas recipe on the Courier as well. So this will be a double Midas for Empire. That could be a mistake.
Double Midas when they've already taken 3 towers, and they already have double Midas of their own, and your lineup's not very good at stopping push.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. And you see why they banned the Shadow Shaman. It makes a lot of sense from Empire. They're already having a hard time stopping the push. Sure, there was level 1 Roche, but even without it, I think they still would have struggled here. And they're going to struggle more with double Midas. I guess you can Midas the Chen creeps, but if you wait around for the Chen creeps to Midas them, then you're not being as efficient with your Midas as you could be. So it is a very difficult situation for Empire right now.
And Zai's been having a pretty good time on Chen. He is level 6, of course. Getting that Hand of God up quickly is a benchmark, which he has met. And working towards mech. Does have a buckler already complete and about 500 in the bank, so not too far off picking up that early team fight item. Empire, on the other hand, they are nowhere close. Nobody's working towards a mech. Their supports are comparatively poor, as we would expect, between Roche and Tower Gold.
Yeah. Their best way to stomp the push is to never let SADBOYS group up. If they do group up, they don't have good creep clearing ability. Mediocre at best, I would say. And we'll have another unpause. This one was from Team SADBOYS.
So, SADBOYS continuing to pressure this bottom tier 2 tower. Glyph is available for Empire, but even if they burn it, they just don't have a lot of great tools to defend with. Lich, very close to level 6, but still doesn't have that big damage dealing ultimate. We will see a rotation coming in from Mag. Does have the Lifestealer inside, so looking for some sort of initiation. Doom ultimate available as well. Tier 2 tower does fall. In comes Mag, drops the ultimate onto Zai. There will be no Hand of God. There's the Chain Frost. Takes a couple of bounces into the heroes, but straight into the creeps. Crystal Maiden and Doom are the first to fall in this fight. Now always want to fly in trouble. RTZ will join the fray, and they secure yet another kill. In the backside, they did secure a kill onto Zai, playing on the Chen. Silent was able to finish him off, but it took a huge positional commitment and will cost him his life. Now Resolution in trouble. This could be a 5-for-1 exchange, and the tier 2 tower fell. Oh, this could be a quick game, LD. SADBOYS with so much momentum here.
Fear wasn't even in that fight. He's just farming mid. This is... yeah, this is bad. Ay caramba. Empire's draft just isn't good at stopping the push. Though, like I said, the way they stop it is by just pick you off before you group up.
Right.
And they went double Midas after giving up level 1 Roche, and SADBOYS already had a good pushing lineup, and their lineup's not good at stopping pushes anyway, so it was always going to be hard after the level 1 Roche. Yep. I don't really think you can say a whole lot else, except SADBOYS got a good level 1 Roche, and they've played well ever since.
And Fear just grabs a solo kill on the Lich. They even put down a sentry. They were suspicious he'd come by. They found him, and then, uh-oh, what do we do? And that's one of the problems with Lich as a support. I know you've talked about it a few times. There are some things that counter him very hard. And pretty low impact support.
Weaver, Storm. Push strats are also great against Lich, because Lich is just not good at stopping them. And in fact, if he's denying creeps, then he's helping you push in some ways. So
right.
Offlane Lich used to be really popular as a solo hero a few years ago, and what really stopped him was when teams just started punishing that by pushing his lane early, or just smoke ganking him at the tower. Lack of disable, but I don't really think you can blame this game on the Lich. It's just in this position, he really struggles a lot.
Right, and SADBOYS will move straight into the Roche pit here. Second Roche, right around that 10-minute mark. And, you know, I think one thing we can look at that really spells out how this game is going for Empire is just look at PPD's build. Level 7, 0 points in Shallow Grave.
Carry Dazzle.
Carry Dazzle.
Where's his Midas?
Yeah.
Doesn't have the gold just yet.
Not yet, at least. But second Roche does fall, completely uncontested. Empire didn't even have ward vision of the area. They do have no glyph available, pardon me, as this tier 1 tower in the mid will be slated to fall. Chen with a couple of creeps here, 2 Hellbear Smashers and 1 Centaur. So many units here for SADBOYS. They will just continue on with the pressure. No reason to back up. They've got plenty of sustain. Now the last remaining tier 2 under heavy assault.
Yeah, Bat's got a blink now, but just like when the Doom ran in before, what does it matter? He's a single target hero. If you don't go on Dazzle, he can just heal the hero that you do go on. They can send back if they need to. SADBOYS need to dive, and then they need to lasso/doom someone and kill that hero when his team's away, and we'll have another disconnect. This is tough.
Yeah. It certainly is.
I will say the SADBOYS draft is pretty good at punishing single target initiators. Shallow Grave, heal, they don't have it yet, but they'll have Grave at some point. The send back, and an early mech. And just tanky/elusive carries in Weaver and Bristleback. Not many easy kills. The Prophet's probably the easiest one when he's off split pushing, but at this point you can't really gank Arteezy when they're constantly pressuring your tier 2s. You kind of have to defend your base.
Yeah. So while that was all happening, Doom did try and pressure the top tier 1 tower. Fear ported up and was able to repel, and down bottom, Silent trying to make some recovery farm here. Still has that Hand of Midas, really yet to kick in. Hasn't seen much return on that investment. Only phase boots, those starting items, and Orb of Venom, and the Midas. Arteezy was able to come down and tango with the Lifestealer, and Arteezy himself already with an Oblivion Staff, looking towards a nice quick Orchid pickup, and actually just about has enough gold to right-click another Oblivion Staff as well. So Orchid will make things even more difficult for Empire. Right now, their only core item is that Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider.
Yeah, Midas is not helping you take team fights. That's for damn sure.
And meanwhile, SADBOYS have a Vanguard up on Bristleback, a great early game item for this strategy, and he also has a Vlad's almost complete at home, just waiting on that Lifesteal Morbid Mask, and Chen also has the mech up, so some core team fight items already on the field for SADBOYS.
If you look at the draft, SADBOYS banned Storm, and Storm actually would have been amazing this game. SADBOYS have 0 reliable stuns, but they drafted well. They got rid of the Storm after they saw the Doom. Empire, I don't want to say they got outdrafted, but SADBOYS just had a very strong draft to take away their favorite strats.
And it seemed like they were ready for that Doom pick. They didn't ban out the Doom early. You know it's a hero Empire want to go for, and I think SADBOYS were ready for that and adjusted their draft accordingly. Part of that first pick dazzle that we talked about in the draft.
Yeah, Doom is... he's really scary once the game gets well underway, but he takes a little while to come online, and he's much more of a ganker. Can be a teamfight specialist later on when he's got a lot of items, like when he becomes like tanky Aura Doom or has double Doom. He's only okay in these early game fights. He's not that amazing yet.
And especially if he goes Devour Primary and Hand of Midas, that really neuters that early game potential. He ends up being much more of a farmer for the early game economic investment to take you into the mid game. So there are drawbacks and positives to every strategy. When you go heavy early economic investment, you are susceptible to those early pushes, as we've seen for us here in this game.
Connection issues continue for both teams, actually, as PPD was having like earlier. Empire are reconnecting now. At this point, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. 10,000 gold lead, about a 6,000 experience lead for the SADBOYS. A lot of that is tower gold. It is 6-0 in total tower count right now, but they've taken 2 Roches already, and of course they do have the hero kill advantage, 8-3, as we do resume at the 11.5-minute mark. Hard to believe this game is only 11.5 minutes in based on how much action we've seen.
Yeah, it feels... Well, and also how many pauses we've seen, I guess.
That too.
Empire desperately need to go for a gank before SADBOYS group up outside their base. They've already taken all the outer towers. They have the new Aegis.
Lichy.
This ain't gonna help.
This ain't gonna help. In comes the teleport from Furion. And, old Kel'Thuzad there. Well,
Kel'Thuzad, there's a throwback.
Yeah. He's undead anyway, but...
they're gonna go on top, though. They have Doom Fear.
And Fear, I think, will be slated to fall. Not much the Weaver can do. Scorched Earth will make it hard for him to get away. There is a War Stomp inside the Doom, but...
Oh, yeah, he's got Aegis.
Oh, yeah! By the way...
Now Doom's on cooldown, and sure they don't have Aegis, but they could look to push off of this.
And an aggressive Weave comes out, but Fear does not pursue. Resolution makes the great escape as he wraps around the backside, so...
That's good for Empire, just getting rid of the Aegis. It makes their 5-man from SADBOYS not as scary, especially once Doom comes back online, so... That's what Empire just need to do more of to have a chance this game, is keep on picking heroes off. If SADBOYS get out of position, it's very tough when you have no outer towers. Map control is lacking, but they gotta try.
PPD gets scouted out, blink forward from Resolution, looking for a lasso. Again, no shallow grave. Not that PPD could use it on himself if he does get lassoed. He was scouted out by these wards, and Empire does come in with a sentry, and they will grab a little bit of vision control around their Ancients. And PPD survives to tell the tale. There's the Orchid up on Arteezy, another great team fight item that will assist in their efforts to break the high ground, which will come probably not before too long here.
They definitely don't have to force high ground yet if you're SADBOYS. Sure, they've got double Midas and Devour on Empire, but you've taken all their outer towers, you've taken Roche twice, and you have 2 Midases of your own.
I guess they could wait for the 3rd Roche.
Resolution's going to go down top lane, though, as Arteezy comes in and picks him off with the Orchid.
Yeah, ends up being an easy kill.
And he can pick off a lot of heroes with Orchid. Lich is an easy solo kill. Crystal Maiden's an easy solo kill. Lifestealer is an easy 2-hero kill. And speaking of kills, they want Mag bottom.
Yeah, they will group up. And Mag right now does have the Lich armor on that will help his survivability, but Doom still just doesn't have any core items. Only 1 base armor at the moment. He is not that tanky Doom that we become accustomed to. He will grab himself a headdress, so Doom will be the one working towards that mech, but won't help him too much here in the next couple minutes, as SADBOYS still have their sights set. A sentry has come down from Empire, so perhaps trying to bait with Mag a little bit, hoping the Weaver will poke his Scarab head a bit too far forward, but they won't be so lucky.
Yeah, and they're just getting... Empire's getting starved, and what can they actually do about it? They have 1 ward in their jungle. If you look at Empire's vision, they're in the dark. And Fear's diving right now. Always Want to Fly is probably dead.
Yeah, nothing for a lonely Lich to do. Oh, the Frostbite almost going to buy him enough, but Fear will finish him off. Time Lapse is back. And Weaver will just go back to farming, getting close to that Lincoln's. Chen now working towards a pipe, does have the Hood of Defiance complete. Adding insult to injury here with these item pickups.
They can smell that $7,000, and actually, I have to credit SADBOYS for after that early game clowny aggression.
Some discipline, reining it in a little bit.
They're playing very disciplined, and from what their manager has been telling us, it's PPD who, when the team starts to overextend, he's the one cracking the whip.
It's that voice of reason.
Yelling at them, saying,
"Whoa, guys.
Calm it down, boys. Take it down a notch." So, yeah, PPD apparently has been a real leader for this team lately. And Zai's going to get him.
Yeah, he'll be in big trouble. The lasso comes out. He does have a mech as well as Hand of God. Burns both of them, trying to buy time for his teammates to come in. They will rotate. They won't help keep the Chen alive, but they'll find initiation onto Mag and always want to fly. Mag in big trouble, trying to port out, will not make it. Weaver was able to pick off the Lifestealer as we were watching the Doom go down. Always want to fly, trying to port out. He's going to make it as well. It ends up being a 1-for-2 exchange. Chen for the 2.
But Chen creeps are still alive. So you kill the Chen, but you don't kill the creeps.
Yeah, but 2 very high-profile targets dead on Empire. Lifestealer and Doom, the core heroes.
And they're breaking base mid. Just a little pressure applied top. The great items to break the base now, the early Vlads from the Bristleback, not going for like an AC or a stronger late game item. They know they're very hard to deal with in the 5-man fights, and they're just going to try and end the game right now.
Glyph will get popped for Empire, and the Lifestealer as well as Doom will be responding pretty quickly here. A defensive weave comes out from the SADBOYS as the racks are now exposed. Lifestealer is up, right-clicks an armlet, so he'll have a new toy to play with in this fight. The question is, will it be enough? He takes an Orchid right as he tries to walk in. Great play from Arteezy to help zone him out. Lich ult flies, unfortunately takes a bad bounce into the creeps. Universe perhaps in some trouble, will turn his back. Doom comes out onto PPD. No Shallow Grave to help keep him alive, though Lich and Crystal Maiden have fallen. SADBOYS with all 5 still alive. Flame break, doing some damage. Fear now manning up into the base. Needs to be careful, though. Will have the time lapse available to hop back to safety. Mech has already been popped. Dazzle with his war cries, and look at this, SADBOYS with the sustain. They all stay alive despite the Doom ultimate on Dazzle, and everyone's back up to full HP, LD.
Yeah, Doom just, it's hard when you're up against a lineup with so many good defensive heroes. And they're going in now with the lasso.
A defensive weave comes out before the lasso connects. Dazzle will throw another heal as well. They still have yet to secure a kill. Shallow Grave comes out. Arteezy falls. Zai will be able to stand his ground for now. Arteezy buys back straight away. A resolution has already died. Down goes Vanscore. Universe in the front of the fray with all of that armor from the Dazzle ultimate. He can turn his back, and he is just so hard to take down. Lifestealer will buy back as well. This tier 3 in the top falls as Arteezy is right back into the action. That may be the sign for SADBOYS to make an exodus, but the damage has been done. And there it is. Wow, Empire will tap out.
We have a champion.
We have 5 champions, LD.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. That series not going quite the way. This is one of the first times I think my prediction came true. That whole Game 5 Empire. Sorry, pal. USA all the way.
Game 1 was just... this game just came down to a lot of it came down to the level 1 Roche, a little bit to the draft, but... Yeah. Game 1, I think, was even more impressive from... team. This game was a stomp, but a lot of it just was, like
that early
advantage. I wouldn't say it's a cheese, but it's like you get the level 1 rush. The game's super hard for your opponents at that point.
Right.
The other game was pretty even, and then they just out executed them. So
yeah. So still, I think really great drafting from SADBOYS. I think you hit the nail on the head. I wouldn't go so far as to say that Empire were out drafted, but I think SADBOYS were ready for that Doom pick. They drafted appropriately, and they had a plan, and the plan worked.
And the follow-up, the Stormban was really smart. The Weaver last pick was really good. Lifestealer not good against him. Crystal Maiden not that good against him. Lich awful against him.
Yep.
And they had a good lineup to deal with Doom and Batrider. Chen, Dazzle, and a good 5-man push against the lineup that lacked it. PPD has drafted really well for this team for the past week. Right now, dare I say it, we haven't seen Navi or Lions play this patch yet, but so far he may be the strongest drafter in the West. In the West, or at least he's drafting the strongest currently.
Yeah. And before this final series, SADBOYS are 12-1 on 6.8 in competitive matches, so now going to be 14-1. That's a pretty solid record for a new team on the block.
Are they going to turn into the Happy Boys soon?
The Happy Boys, yeah, they're going to have to change. They're not living up to this SADBOYS name because they've been.
It's their sadness that fuels their their victories, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So $7,000 going to SADBOYS. Empire, they won't go home empty-handed. That is a $2,000 payday for second place. Still not too bad, but a bit of a bittersweet end.
If I did my power rankings for the West right now, I'd probably say Empire and SADBOYS are. SADBOYS had a really convincing win, so I guess you put them third after Navi Alliance. Can't put either of these teams ahead of them until they do something on LAN against those teams. But
right.
I think right now, Empire and SADBOYS are right there at 3-4.
They're both looking very
Speeds
good.
looked shaky. Liquid has looked very shaky. Fnatic, if they get Wisp, it goes okay. If they don't, it still feels like they struggle.
Yeah.
They took a bit of a break after Starladder, but none of the other old sort of, or not old, but none of those established Western teams have looked that strong right now.
Yeah.
The new boys are what's hot.
The new boys, yeah, that's a good name for them.
Oh, there you go. I wasn't even thinking about
the new boys. Oh, pun unintended.
Pun definitely unintended.
Wow, a much quicker final series than we were ready for with best of 5. That could be a really long series or be a pretty quick sweep. So.
Well, the 1-game advantage plus game 1 win on enemy turf made it very hard for Empire. Even if Empire won this game, there's still always that game 5 that was going to be waiting on US East.
Yeah.
But they just got crushed.
Yeah. So this was a personally funded tournament. Again, not a whole big point in buying the ticket now at this point, but if you're still interested in the Courier as well as the HUD and supporting a tournament that was personally financed out of someone's pocket, that is a cute set of awards as well as a cute HUD. And it is available for $7.99 in the shop.
Yeah, and guys, I just want to say thanks a lot for joining us here. I believe the Fnatic versus Speed show match is about to start or is going on. So if you want something else to watch, you can check that out. We'll start the rebroadcast soon. First tournament that you've casted from the new studio.
First tournament we've casted together.
Yeah, it's been fun. I know people have had some feedback on the casting, but if you have any constructive feedback, you can email myself, davidg@beyondthesummit.tv. I'd be happy to take a look at it, but hope you guys enjoyed the casting, and we'll have the whole team, the boys, back together pretty soon. Yeah. Gods is coming soon. Merlini will be joining us, I'm sure, for future events. So
making progress on the studio. Looks more and more like a studio downstairs every day. And
this is only the backup studio.
The upstairs. This is studio number 2,
yes.
Studio B. So it steps in the right direction. International, and of course Arteezy joining us here in spirit. But I think that wraps up our coverage today, LD. Of course, make sure you follow LD on Twitter at LDDota, and I am at Zyori TV as well.
And follow the SADBOYS at Arteezy, at Fear Darkness, at Universe Dota, at PPD Dota. I don't think Zy has a Twitter. You can follow at Team_Empire. They have the funniest social media manager out there. Although I guess there's not many funny things to say. At True_VankScore. I don't know the rest of Empire's Twitters, but do the rest of them have? I think there's MagDota.
I got some Twitter bias here.
But yeah, I don't tend to follow the CIS players as much because it's always in Cyrillic. I don't speak Russian. So
Exactly.
That's not as useful for me.
The same issue.
But yeah, it was a fun tournament. Congratulations to those teams, and congratulations to our third place team, which was Speed. Was it? I got to double check.
I'm embarrassed that I don't know off the top of my head, but it was so long.
Oh, it was Liquid. It was Liquid. Congratulations to Liquid. They walk away with 1,000. So those are our top 3 teams.
Yeah. Not too shabby, a nice payday, but a fun tournament. So do we know what's next? What's next on Beyond the Summit? What are we covering? Do we have another tournament secured?
Well, the next on Grand Finals are coming up soon. Obviously, Lysander should be back in the saddle for that.
Yeah,
I know people miss him.
Lysander.
One of my favorite casters, just when I want to chill and have a laugh.
He genuinely cracks me up. He has a sense of humor unlike any other.
So there's that. Outside of that, we have, I think, a Western tournament similar in scope to this one coming up next weekend, and it'll be just 2 weekends. Next weekend and then the one after that. Outside of that, you'll just have to wait to find out.
Ooh, the suspense.
Maybe some big announcements coming soon.
All right, guys. That wraps it up for today. We'll see you next time.